Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Victory Drive. This week is a different type of episode. Kind of throwing back to the single shot series I did a while back. I've had some really good interactions with some people, and they said that they really enjoyed that when I was doing it. Just got really busy with work and family and, the regular show. So it just kind of fell to the wayside a little bit. But I figured I might as well sprinkle it in every once in a while and just kind of bring it back, bring the single shot series feel back to the regular show every so often. So this week is going to be a single shot type episode. It's just going to be me talking. We're going to cover some turkey stuff. We're getting ready for turkey season coming up right around the corner here. So I figured I'd start leaning into some more turkey content, stuff of that nature, leading into season. I don't know. It's open in some other areas in the country, just starting to open up in some places. It's not open in Iowa yet, but we're getting damn close. Like, I think next week or two, it should be open. So I usually do most of my turkey hunting late April. So, I got a little bit of time yet before I get out there. But, I'm going to be taking my nephew out again this year. I took him out the past couple of years and got him a turkey both times. And, he really enjoys it, so I'm going to take him out. And that's one thing I love about turkey hunting is just it's a really great season to get new hunters out in the field and get them, out there and experiencing the woods and hunting and all that good stuff. And honestly, for a lot of kids, especially youth, like for some reason, it is just not the same shooting a bird in the face. They don't seem to mind it near as much as like shooting a deer. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get kids out deer hunting because they're like, oh, they're cute and cuddly and all that stuff maybe, or maybe it's just sitting still, and you have to be a little more careful with how you position yourself with deer than you do turkeys. And I think might be a little bit less of a stigma between shooting like Jakes and Toms, maybe. I don't know. It's a lot more laid back. At least that's the way it is for me. Much more laid back season to get youth out, and you can kind of get up and move around. It's not like all day sits, nothing super long, crazy. Deer hunting just seems like it's a much bigger step in your hunting journey than turkeys. And it kind of goes for all birds, like pheasant hunting, goose hunting, waterfowl, all that stuff. It's like really, it's all super laid back. And that's one thing I really do like about bird hunting is that it's really chill. You just kind of get out there and do your thing and have fun. And it's just a great time to get kids out. So if you guys are thinking about it, I'd definitely highly encourage you to take a youth out turkey hunting because it is a blast and it's a lot of fun. And you can get them out and experience hunting and kind of, on a much more laid back season. So that's my little spiel on getting kids out and new hunters. That's not just kids, it's new hunters in general. It seems like it's a lot easier to get them out during turkey season. Plus, it's like everyone's getting out of hibernation for the winter. It's starting to warm up, starting to get green outside, and everyone's kind of like getting out of hibernation. So it's a really fun time to get out in the woods and also change it up from shed hunting if you're into that kind of thing. I am like the world's worst shed hunter, so I just really don't care for it a whole lot, I guess. I have very low probabilities of finding sheds. And I'm just, I don't know what it is about shed hunting. It just doesn't really, like, grabbing antlers is cool. It's like a Easter egg hunt, but I'd much rather be out there trying to kill something, I guess, rather than finding antlers. But it is a fun time. There's also mushroom hunting right around this time of year. It's just a great time to be outside. So, like I said, if you guys are thinking about getting a kid out there or a new hunter, great time to get them out. Really think about that. It's a lot of fun. So, I think I harped on that quite enough. So we'll go ahead and move in to, now you know how the episode's going to be broken down a little bit today. We'll go ahead and move into the partners of Victory Drive. First off, Victory Drive is brought to you by Grizzly Coolers. Grizzly Coolers, they are just the best fucking cooler company out there right now. I mean, they make great quality products, super awesome hard-sided coolers, fucking banger soft-sided coolers, and badass drinkware. So they also have, hunting blinds and all sorts of other different stuff that's not just coolers and accessories and apparel and gear bags. My gosh, okay, the gear bags are awesome. I have some of their duffel bags that I use for hunting season and keep all my hunting clothes in a bag and just keeps everything nice and organized, and they're huge. And I love their little, in the duffel bags, they have the, on the bigger ones, they have that little area where you can put your muddy boots and shoes, stuff them in there, keeps it away from your clothes. You're not putting your dirty ass fucking boots all over your nice clean hunting clothes or anything like that. So it just keeps them separated and nice, really organized, really easy to get in and out of vehicles. And I know during hunt season, my fucking wife loves the way our vehicles look, just loves it. But that's obviously sarcasm, but she does love that I keep it all in one big bag, one big ass duffel bag. And if we need to take the truck or the vehicle out and I'm using it for hunting, it's just really easy to grab that bag, pull it out, throw it inside, do what we need to do, come back, reload it, just makes things nice and easy. So if you guys are looking for a new duffel bag or cooler or anything like that, check out Grizzly Coolers. Use code WCB at checkout to save some money. We've also got Huntworth camo, Huntworth gear. Huntworth is making badass hunting clothes for a badass price. They've got all sorts of new shit coming down the line. I just talked to Nate from Huntworth there. I was talking to him at the Illinois Deer Classic in Peoria. And we just some really good shit coming down from Huntworth. They are really making some big moves, and it's really exciting to see these companies grow and just continue to kill it out there. And I'm going to keep rocking Tarnin. I have no reason to switch. It works great. I've killed a lot of turkeys in Tarnin. I've killed a lot of other things with Tarnin. I've definitely killed a deer with Tarnin. Definitely have. But I've been on kind of a deer slump lately, so let's just not talk about that so much. But turkeys, I've killed turkeys in Tarnin a lot, and it works great even for early season turkey hunting. Turkeys have really good eyesight, but it's not good enough to overcome a good Tarnin pattern in the woods. So I'm just going to throw that out there. They do have Vertec out, so I should be trying to sell you guys on the Vertec pattern because it is more geared around early season. But in all reality, it's, in my opinion, when it comes to camo, it's user preference. They all work great. All the Huntworth camo patterns, they all work great. But Vertec is definitely geared more towards early seasons, like got a lot more greens and light browns and stuff like that in it. So if you guys are one of those guys where you really want, that super blended in pattern for the early season woods, then check out Vertec and use that. It's great. It's really, really great stuff. Otherwise, just check out Huntworth gear at huntworthgear.com. I believe it's huntworthgear.com. If you just Google Huntworth, it's gonna pop right the fuck up. So not that hard to find. You can also use code WCB15 to save some money on Huntworth. Then we also got Beckmar Diner. Beckmar Diner is my parents' diner here in Osage, Iowa. I will say that we do have a great turkey population. So if you guys ever find your way out in northern Iowa and you want to get a quick bite to eat at a local diner, check out Beckmar. Great stuff. Without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to this show. All right, here we go, guys. So turkey season is coming in fast. So we're going to go ahead and cover some kind of just like the basics of choosing a gun, a load, a sight, and all that good stuff. Everything you need to kind of get set up and ready to go turkey hunting, because turkey hunting hasn't really been taken off in full force across the country yet. So we're just going to start in on just an easy side. We're not going to cover like tips and tactics and all that good stuff and turkey calling and all that. We'll do that a little bit later if that's something that, we're interested in. That's probably going to be more of a regular season. I want to get someone else in here and have a good conversation about all that. But gear selection is very important, right? You don't want to be out in the turkey woods. You get your calls, you get your stuff, get all ready to go, get your camo, you get your blind if you're hunting in a blind or anything like that. You get all your shit rounded up, right? And you're getting out there and you're just like, oh man, I didn't pattern my shotgun, or I didn't, go out and buy like a turkey choke, or, I'm just rocking my old trusty 870 that's been sitting in the safe or something like that for the past, year. Or maybe you used it pheasant hunting or goose hunting and stuff, and you're just like, I don't know, just a good old, improved cylinder choke will be fine. Whatever that is. Maybe it's your first time going out turkey hunting and you don't really know what you're looking for. But the biggest thing is you don't want to go out there turkey hunting, do all this work, get out there, learn how to call, and you're feeling good about all that stuff. Then you get out there and you do everything right. You're hunting them. You found where the turkeys are roosting. You found the turkey roost. You're in the woods. You hear them gobbling in the wood, in the trees. You make your move. You get set up in a great spot, a great hidden little opening in the woods where you just know that that turkey is gobbling from his roost over there. And you just know he's going to fly off that roost and come barreling down and just come into full strut right in front of you. And you're sitting there with your shotgun, ready to rock and roll. And you do everything right. You do it so right that he gets within 15 yards. And you're like, oh my gosh, this turkey is strutting. And he's looking around trying to fuck a hen. And he's just like, boom, gobble, 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 war, all this stuff. And he's doing everything right. And he gets in at 15, let's say 10 yards, 12 yards. And you grab your shotgun, you have it propped up on your knee, ready to rock and roll. And you settle in for your shot. You put that bead or that red dot right on that turkey's head. You go boom, and he runs off or flies off. You missed. You whiffed it. You pointed it right at his big dumb red head, and you missed because your tight choke pattern gun went right beside his head, and he ran off. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? And you're left dazed and confused, lost about everything, and you miss your shot. You miss your chance. Let's say you do that in a crazy faraway place like Florida, like what recently happened to our good friend Jordan Jepson, unfortunately. Stuff like that does happen, and it happens a lot. It's a lot more common than you think. A lot of guys, especially even a lot of veteran turkey hunters too, they'll get out there and they know what they're working with. They have their shotgun, they have their choke set up, they have their ammo picked out, and everything else. Let's say that you go out to the store and you buy some more shells and you grab a good box of turkey loads, and you're just like, fuck it. Season's right here. I'm just going to go shoot this bird and be done with it. And you didn't pattern it. That's very important with shotguns. The scatter guns in general, they're not like, PRS guns. You're not going to go out there and shoot, precision, super accurate fucking shots with a shotgun. But you can get them pretty damn accurate with whether you're just rocking a bead on your shotgun like I do. I don't have a red dot on my shotgun when I'm turkey hunting. I just don't use it. I don't know. I haven't felt the need for it, but the way you really do got to look at turkey hunting is you want to look at it as like some quasi big game hunt where you do want to get your shit dialed in a lot more than you'd think. Like, you're not just out there wing shooting pheasants, doves, and waterfowl. You're not doing that with turkeys, so you want to make sure you take time with your weapon system, get it dialed in, get it patterned, and shoot multiple boxes of loads, figure out what's grouping nicely with your shotgun, figure out where it's hitting everywhere from 10 to 40, 50 yards, wherever you plan on taking your shots from. But you also have to be honest with your distances, just like anything else. Be really honest with yourself on what the effective range is, and you don't know what the effective range really is unless you get out there and you shoot at paper. So we'll get into covering some of that stuff in just a little bit. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do to get ready for turkey hunting is you need something that's going to shoot, right? So you need a weapon, whether you're archery hunting or gun hunting. Like I like shooting them with shotguns personally. So let's just say you're gun hunting, right? I'm not going to get into the whole archery thing, whether or not you can obviously do that, but we're just going to focus on shotguns today. So you grab your gun. You have a shotgun, right? So if you don't have a shotgun, yes, you need to go get one. And it doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need to be anything spectacular. You don't need a Benelli to go fucking shoot a turkey, I'm just using a Mossberg 500. It's like, I think it's like $300-$400. You can get a Mossberg 500, a Remington 870, something that is trusty and it's going to go bang every time you pull the trigger, right? I personally like, I'm just rocking my 12 gauge personally. So a lot of guys like 20 gauges or 410s, smaller, lighter shotguns so they can get around, move around easier. I have no issues carrying around a 12 gauge shotgun. But this is all user preference. So figure out what's legal in your state. 410s aren't legal in every state, but they've made such huge advancements. They're getting very popular. I also prefer a pump action shotgun because I know that with my pump action, it's like I shoot, I rack that slide, and it's going to, very reliable. You force it with your own power, your own horsepower, rack that, and it's going to eject a shell every single time. It's never failed me unless it's, I guess it did freeze one time during deer hunt when I was a kid, but that has a little different situation. It's super cold. Turkey hunt's not going to be that cold. So if it gets a little grimy, a little bit, dirty, then you're still going to be able to rack it, eject, and load another shell. It's going to work. Very reliable system. Some guys like to use single shots, break action, which is great as long as you plan on killing the motherfucker in one shot. Other people really like auto loaders. Auto loaders are great. That semi-auto action, it does soak up some of the recoil, so it makes it a little bit tamer than like a pump action or single shot. I personally just like pump action, load that fucker up with some shells, get out hunting. That's just me. So pick a shotgun, find that, boom, check. All right, shotgun's picked. Got that ready to go. It comes with your standard, chokes, hopefully. It comes with an assortment of chokes, anywhere from like modified, improved cylinder, full choke. Sometimes they come with an extra full choke in there even. You have all your stock little chokes that come with the shotgun generally. I would highly, highly recommend. You definitely can kill birds with just a full choke shotgun. You can, 100%. You totally can. You need them a little bit closer because that pattern is going to open up quite a bit with a full choke out there at distance. So I would definitely highly recommend going out, buying an aftermarket choke. They're in the grand scheme of things, they're not super expensive. I think I got my turkey choke for, I don't know, maybe it's like $60, $50, $60. Some of them can get up to $80 to $100. It all depends. Just go out there. I don't have that's not a hill I'm willing to die on, is what kind of choke is the best. Maybe I can get into that some other day, do some different testings and stuff and see what chokes are most reliable. I don't know. But I don't even remember what kind my fucking choke is. It might be a Carlson. I'm not sure. But it works. Works great. I've had it for years. So I would highly recommend getting a aftermarket turkey choke specifically for turkeys, and it's just going to pattern better, tighter, and so you can shoot a little bit further, and it's going to hold that group tighter a little bit longer ranges, right? So like 30, 40, sometimes 50 yards. With TSS, you can get out there a little further. I'm getting ahead of myself. Choose a choke, right? Get a turkey choke, put it in that shotgun, and then you're going to want to move on to a sighting system, right? Shotguns with the bird barrel, they're going to come with just your stock beads, right? So my Mossberg 500, it's got a double bead, which I really do love. It's got a front bead, which is like white. It's like a little white ball. And then it has another tiny little brass bead in the middle of the, I guess, top of the rail on the shotgun, right? So it's got a double bead. So I just line up that little tiny brass bead with my white bead, line them up, boom, boom, boom. Turkey's head, pop, boom, dead turkey. Otherwise, if you want, a red dot sight, which I am totally for, and some people are even rocking like very low powered scopes on their turkey guns, which I don't think you need to get that crazy into the weeds about it. But if you're going to go with a sighting system other than your stock bead, if you're going to put like a red dot or that, like a super low powered scope, then just get it from a trusted source. I'm a Leupold guy personally. I've had Leupolds, a lot of them. Use them in the military quite a bit. Never let me down. Great great place to start. If you're looking to keep prices down, and then, like Vortex makes good stuff. Hollow Sun's good from what I've seen and used of them. All sorts of different options, right? There's holographic sites out there. There's all sorts of shit you can get to go turkey hunting with. So it's really, I guess it's really your imagination. Let it run wild. Get crazy with it, but just get whatever you think is going to be best for you. And then you got to get used to it, obviously. But if, let's say you do go with a red dot, which is super common right now with a lot of turkey hunters. Let's say you just go with a red dot, then you're going to really want to dial it in, right? So after you choose your sight, then you're going to have to get some ammo and start shooting. So once you decide to shoot on the ammo you want, so you got your sight. Let's just recap real quick. You got your gun, you got your sight, you got your choke. Now you got to get some ammo. Just do your research. TSS is huge right now. A lot of people are liking TSS. The biggest thing with TSS is it's super hard, very, very hard pellets, right? Very hard pellets. And they're tiny. Like they usually come in smaller shot sizes because they're so hard and they penetrate so well that they do smaller shot sizes and then lead generally. So you can get a lot more pellets per shell, which is a good thing because when you're patterning, what's killing the turkey are the little pellets, right? So the more pellets you send down range, the more chances, it's just math. It's simple fucking math, guys. The more pellets you send down range, the higher chances you have of killing the son of a bitch. So TSS is super popular. It penetrates at further ranges than most people should be shooting at. So it's good stuff. The only thing with TSS is you have to be careful with is if you have an old shotgun. So if you got a hand-me-down from your great-grandpa Lars and, it's an old fucking, 1950s fucking shotgun when they were using really soft steel, because back then they were using all lead. So you didn't have to worry about this super hard pellets. Well, you do have to worry about that now. You're shooting lead out of it before. Shotgun works splendidly. But you load TSS in there or steel shot, it can blow your barrel and it can be very unsafe. So make sure you know what kind of shotgun you got. I think it's like anywhere, I think it was after the 80s. Any shotgun after the 80s is going to be safe. Every shotgun made nowadays is going to be rated for steel shot or TSS. No problems. You're good there. And then you just got to make sure you have a choke that can handle that kind of stuff too. So that's just different steel that they use for manufacturing with the shotguns. So just be careful. If you're using your great-grandpa Lars's fucking shotgun, make sure that it can handle steel and TSS before you decide to shoot it out of there. If not, I'm not saying you can't hunt with great-grandpa Lars's shotgun. You just have to use lead. So just use lead. Lead works great too. I use a lot of lead. I've killed plenty of turkeys with lead. It kills them deader than fucks still. So TSS is a little bit better, but lead kills just fine, especially on turkeys if you're shooting them at moderate ranges. So choose some ammo, do your research on that, and figure out what works best. You can go in there and figure out what's on sale. But if this is you're just getting into turkey hunting and you haven't, figured out what you want. Just like with rifles, I like to buy multiple different types of ammo when I'm figuring out what my gun likes. And with shotguns, it's even more important to make sure that you are putting the best load you can into that shotgun that's going to pattern the best, because every load shoots just a little bit differently. So you want to make sure that your gun is going to pattern perfect with whatever you're putting into it, right? So pick your ammo, pick out multiple different boxes, take them home, and you're going to also want to pick up, while you're at the store, you're going to also want to pick up some pheasant loads. So some cheaper target loads, just because you want to get your red dot dialed in, right? So you want to get that kind of zeroed, because it's not going to be perfectly zero when you first pull it out of the box and put it in your shotgun. So buy some cheap loads too, just to get you close at 10, 15, 20 yards or so. And then so get those target shells. Now you're back at home. Now you're on the range. you're back at home and you're ready to get shooting. They make all sorts of different fun little targets that you can shoot, like with a turkey's head on there, and they make different colors, a splash, whatever it is. For starting out, just grab a piece of paper, sorry, I burped a little bit. Just get a piece of paper, get a pretty decently large piece of paper, not just like a piece of notebook paper. You can use that too, but if you miss or whatever, I like to use bigger paper. So what I usually do, this is just Jake. What I usually do is I go out to the range, I set up a big cardboard box, like opened up, right? So just a big ass piece of cardboard, and then I put my piece of paper in the middle, and I put my dot in the middle of that paper, because I like to see the pattern, right? So you get out there, you get all set up, and you shoot the first load into the target. It's going to be off a little bit. Zero it just like you would a rifle or a handgun. With the red dot system works the exact same no matter what weapon it's on. Zero it in, shoot again, keep it going, good to go. All right, so you got the center of that pattern. The tightest part of that pattern is zeroed, hitting that dot, right? Covering that dot, shooting that dot. So you have it zeroed. You move back to we'll say you move back to 30 yards, same thing. Shoot again. If it's right there, you're good to go. If not, dial in a little bit more, get it tighter, get it as perfect as you can. And then after that, you're going to want to replace that paper with like one of those fancy turkey targets, or just a new piece of paper. It doesn't really matter. And then you're going to load up with your turkey shells. So once you get loaded up with the turkey shells, same thing, shoot it, make sure it's hitting good. So you want the center of the pattern to be your focal point. Everything else outside of it is extra, right? So if you yank your shot just a little bit, then you have other BBs out, will kill the turkey, all that good stuff. So there's that. Once you get it all patterned out, you're ready to rock. You have confidence in your shotgun. You have confidence in your sight. You have confidence in your choke. You've got confidence in the load that you picked. Now you're ready to go turkey hunting, all right? And when you're out there turkey hunting, you just want to have the most amount of confidence as you can before you go out there. And if you don't have that, then just keep shooting at paper until you get it, right? So that's kind of my pro tip there. Keep shooting until you're confident before you go out in the woods and fuck it up. So there's that. And then we'll also get into just a real quick little tidbit on some, I guess, tactics or some other things. Just where to aim on a turkey and all that good stuff. Just real basic shit here real quick. So when you're shooting at a turkey, right, it's aim at its head, right? That's what everyone says, shoot him in the head, which is good, right? It's very good. It's something you want to do. One thing I found and was told from a trusted old turkey hunter is you don't really necessarily want to aim at the turkey's head. You don't want to put the bead on its beak. You don't want to do that. You want to aim for the wattle, that little red ball sack under his chin, right? That's where you really want to aim because it's a more stationary target. It doesn't move as much as his little head does. So it's a more reliable target, and it's going to kill him dead. Every time if you hit him the wattle, every time, that's a dead turkey every time. Because even if they're in close, that spread is going to be probably like the size of a baseball. So you're basically shooting a baseball at this turkey, right? If you're aiming at the wattle, just gives you a little bit more margin of error, especially if he's strutting. He's strutting in face on, we'll say. Then you have all the body vitals and all that good stuff right there, right in the goodies. And you launch that fucking baseball of BBs at him, and he's a dead turkey. 10 times out of 10, if that happens, right? Hit him right in the wattle, he's dead. If he's, alert and his head's sticking straight up in the air, and you want to shoot him real quick, what I do is I aim at the base of his neck, right? When he's like up, full alert, head sticking loud and proud straight up in the air. I like to aim at the base of his neck because, once again, more reliable target, kills him 10 times out of 10, no worries, and it does not move near as much as his head does. So I would highly recommend, don't put your sight, don't put your bead on his beak, don't put your red dot on his head. Aim for the base of the neck or the waddle, however it is, right? However he's oriented towards you. That's just one of my tips. Otherwise, if he comes in full strut, 10 yards, like super close, and you're worried about shanking your shot, it's okay to body shoot them too. They still die. Like, especially at that close a distance, at like 10 yards, 10, 12, 13 yards, you can shoot him right in the body. It'll fuck up his feathers. Sure. You want to body mount him? Well, then your taxidermist is going to have a little work to do. But it's a dead turkey. And that's the goal in this whole situation, is to kill a turkey, right? So body shooting at close distances is totally fine. Some people really don't like that, but it kills them. It definitely kills them. So there's that little tip. I just want to throw that out there. Just like I've seen people do that. And it's unfortunate when it goes wrong. So whatever you want to do, whatever you do when you're out there turkey hunting, you just want to put that bead on the most reliable part of his body. That's going to kill him, right? Waddle, base of the neck, that kind of stuff. Shooting him in the head is fun, but it's not a super reliable target because it does move around quite a bit. So there's that. I don't want to keep this dragging on forever. It's just a really good, overarching, basic turkey hunting, getting ready for turkey season basic little episode. All you veteran turkey hunters out there, sorry this week. But this is specifically for people that really haven't gotten into, or maybe just listen, maybe there's something in there that you didn't think of. I don't know. Or maybe there's something that I missed or fucked up. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I like it. It's different. It's different little change of pace from what I usually do. So it's fun to change it up a little bit and keep things nice and fresh and loose in this studio. The only thing I don't like about it is that there's no one to laugh at my stupid fucking jokes. So I guess I'm just going to laugh to myself. That's all I got. So I hope you guys are being safe out there, having fun, and just doing the damn thing, right? So that's it. That's all I got. See you next week, I guess.